Hey guys! Alright, this time I'm gonna make it go away. Hey guys, today we're going to continue reading. This is part 4! People, we need to get this freaking chapter done because we're only on page 17 and the end of the first chapter is on page. What? On page 24. People, we need to get this done! Anyway, so let's start. Alright, I need to find where I'm at. Alright. Gail and I divide our spoils, leaving 2 fish, a couple of loaves of good bread, greens, a quart of strawberries, salt, paraffin, and a bit of money for each. See you in the square, I say. Wear something pretty, he says flatly. At home, I find my mother and sister are ready to go. My mother wears a fine dress from her apothecary days. Prim is in my first reaping outfit, a skirt and ruffled blouse. It's a bit big on her, but my mother has made it stay with Pim. Even so, she's having trouble keeping the blouse tucked in at the back. A tub of warm water waits for me. I scrub off the dirt and sweat from the woods, and even wash my hair. To my surprise, my mother has laid out one of her own lovely dresses for me, a soft blue thing with matching shoes. Are you sure? I asked, trying to get past rejecting offers of help from her. For a while, I was so angry I wouldn't allow her to do anything for me. And this is something special. Her clothes from her past are very precious for her. Of course, let's put your hair up too, she says. I let her towel dry and braid it up on my head. I can hardly recognize myself in the cracked mirror that leans against the wall. You look so beautiful, says Prim in a hushed voice. And nothing like myself, I say. I hug her because I know these next few hours will be terrible for her. Her first reaping. She's about as safe as you can get. Since she's only entered once, I wouldn't let her take out any Tessera. But she's worried about me. That the unthinkable might happen. I protect Prim in every way I can, but I'm powerless against reaping. Coming! Of course, let's put your hair up too, she says. I let her towel dry and braid it up on my head. I can hardly recognize myself in the cracked mirror that leans against the wall. You look beautiful, says Prim in a hushed voice. And nothing like myself, I say. I hugged her because I know the next few hours will be terrible for her. Since she's only entered once, I won't let her take any Tessera. But she's worried about me, that the unthinkable might happen. I protect Prim in every way I can, but I'm powerless against the reaping. The anguish I always feel when she's in pain wells up in my chest and threatens to register on my face. I notice her blouse was pulled out of her skirt in the back again, and force myself to stay calm. Tuck your tail in, little duck, I say, smoothing her blouse back in place. Prim giggles and gives me a small quack. Quack yourself, I say with a light laugh, the kind only Prim can draw out of me. Come on, let's eat, I say, and plant a quick kiss on top of her head. The fish and greens are already cooking in a stew, but that will be for supper. We decide to save the strawberries and bakery bread for this evening's meal. To make it special, we say. Instead, we drink milk from Prim's goat lady and eat the raw bread made from the Tessera grain, although no one has much appetite anyway. At 9 o'clock, we head for the square. Audience is mandatory unless you are on death's door. This evening, officials will come around and check to see if this is the case. If not, you'll be imprisoned. It's too bad, really, that they hold the reaping in the square. one of the few places in District 12 that can be pleasant. A square surrounded by shops, and on public market days, especially if there is good weather, it has a holiday feel to it. But today, despite the bright banners hanging on the building, there's an air of grimness. The camera crews perched like buzzards on rooftops only add to the effect. People file in silently and sign in. People file in silently and sign in. The reaping is a good opportunity for the Capitol to keep tabs on the population as well. 12 through 18-year-olds are herded into roped areas marked off by ages. The oldest in the front, the youngest ones, like Prim, toward the back. Family members line up around the perimeter, holding tightly to one another's hands. But there are others too, who have no one they love at stake, or who no longer care, who slip among the crowd, taking bets on the two kids whose names will be drawn. Odds are given on their ages, whether they're seam or merchant, if they will break down and weep. Most refuse dealing with the racketeers, but carefully. These same people tend to be informers. And who hasn't broken the law? I could be shot on a daily basis for hunting, but the appetites of those in charge protect me. Not everyone can claim the same. Anyway, Gail and I agree that if we have to choose between dying of hunger and a bullet in the head, the bullet would be much quicker. The space gets tighter, more claustrophobic as people arrive. The square is quite large, but not enough to hold District 12's population of about 8,000. Latecomers are directed to the adjacent streets, where they can watch the event on screens as it is televised live by state. Are we almost there? We're almost there. I find myself standing in a clump of 16s from the scene. We all exchange terse nods, then focus our attention on the temporary stage that is set up before the Justice Building. It holds 3 chairs, a podium, and 2 large glass balls, one for the boys and one for the girls. I stare at the paper slips in the girls' ball. 20 of them have Katniss Everdeen written on them in careful handwriting. Alright guys, that's it. The reason I started over on like a whole 2 paragraphs is because I went and took a very long break from making these videos because I have been making them for about an hour now. Probably not an hour, but I had to go and do stuff. So, yeah, bye.